What's happening, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the videos. A big thank you and a shout out to everyone who's been doing that so far. You guys are heroes. So apologies for the state of my voice. I've got a bit of a cold. I've been working a lot recently, so that's why it's been hard making videos. But back to boxing this weekend because AJ versus Usyk is happening. I'm really excited for that. Did you see, by the way, the Canelo versus Plant press conference? I love that, how it kicked off a little bit. You know, I love a little bit of spice and flavour to a fight when it, you know, the two guys really genuinely dislike each other. And I think that's real hatred there. I think there's real genuine, you know, I think what Plant was saying really got under Canelo's skin. Canelo landed a sweet two-piece after Plant had tried to slap him. That dodge from Canelo was just pure instinct. You know, don't mess with that guy. That guy is fast. You know, Plant got caught under the eye. He's got a bit of a gash under here. I reckon that fight's getting postponed now as a result. But until that, we've got AJ versus Usyk this weekend, which is a very interesting fight, which intrigues me a lot because this fight interests me because I don't really know what to expect from it. Usyk has kind of become this enigma in the heavyweight division. We don't really know what he's capable of. Obviously, in a cruiserweight, he was the undisputed, you know, king of the division. You know, he won everything, absolutely everything, dominated. Let's have it right. But in this division, it's very different. The fighters are bigger, they hit a lot harder. Like, he's gonna have to up his game a lot to do anything to AJ. I think going into this, AJ is the usual favourite. He's certainly my favourite, but Usyk is a very, very technically gifted boxer. He brings a lot of skills to the table. I think that's what's got people thinking maybe he can do the impossible and actually, you know, could he do something here? Because he is such a technically gifted fighter. You know, I think as the fight goes along, he's going to be going at that toolbox, a bit like Lomachenko, a little bit like Canelo, and going through the gears. So the longer the fight goes on, potentially more dangerous he becomes. AJ is definitely coming in as the favourite, in my opinion. And he's coming in lighter as well, which I've noticed. Not as light as his rematch for Andy Ruiz. That was a bit too extreme. I think that was a very, very, you know, extremely light AJ. But I think he's coming in middle of the road, much like he did for his last fight against Kubrat Pulev. Yeah, I think this is a entertaining little fight. It could go either way. It's such a hard fight to call because I think AJ is going to try and move with Usyk. I think hence why he's lighter, to try and keep up with that pace which Usyk is going to bring. Because I imagine Usyk trying to be the pace, and if Usyk starts to feel comfortable, he'll try and engage a bit more. He'll try up the gears, dictate the pace of the fight, which potentially tire AJ out. The big question for me will be, how is Usyk going to deal with AJ's power? Because we have seen Usyk be in the ring with some hard hitters. You know, we saw him with Derek Chisora, which was, you know, kind of I suppose it wasn't peak Derek Chisora, but Chisora's still dangerous. Tony Bellew, who's a hard hitter, he's been in with Gassiev, he's been in with Briedis, he's been in with Michael Hunter. You know, the only difference is AJ ain't anything like any of them. AJ is a whole level above them, so it still brings up questions to ask. I think AJ will try and dent Usyk early to kind of get him to respect his power. If he does that, it'll make Usyk hesitant to engage and get in the pocket with him. Because if he doesn't do that, I think that will be potentially what can lead Usyk to gaining more confidence, and then as the rounds go on, he'll go through the gears and become kind of more dangerous. Remember, Usyk is a southpaw as well, which AJ hasn't fought too many of those, which is another kind of like thing which gets me questioned. How's AJ going to deal with dealing with a southpaw? And another, like, Usyk is an unbeaten fighter for a reason. That Bellew fight for me was the fight against Tony Bellew really showed me what an incredible fighter is, how he can switch things up mid-fight and break down the opponent. Because remember, he was throwing the jab and the cross for the first 3 rounds, I think, and then I think it was round 4 or 5 he changed from throwing the double jab cross to a double jab right hook, and Bellew had a guard here and expected it, but instead the punch was coming from this angle and he broke him down. I think he knocked him out with a hook as well. So that, for me, shows how good he really is and what can he do against AJ. AJ has also upped his game in the past few fights. You know, he has become a bit more technical. He's more focused on movement. His jab's definitely improved. It'll be interesting to see how he performs on the night. So I probably see him a 70-30 split for this fight. I still think AJ is the one I expect to win, but I'm not writing off Usyk totally. So I'd say about 70-30 in favour of AJ. Because I think Usyk has got some tricks up his sleeve, which we haven't seen yet, but this is AJ's division. You know, Usyk has to do a lot more in order to win than AJ. He'll have to work very, very hard. If Usyk was to win, it would be by decision, I think. I don't think Usyk nearly has enough power to knock AJ out. But a point win is potentially possible if AJ doesn't do that early damage. Like I said, I think AJ wins based on power alone. Because Usyk coming from a cruiserweight, I think AJ will try and dent him early, try and keep Usyk away, stop him from gaining confidence, and then I think AJ will stop him late though. I don't think he stops him early, he'll stop him late. A point win for AJ is also possible, but with the size and power advantage, I think if he dents him early, AJ will begin gaining confidence, so later on in the fight he can finish him off and get him out of there. And then so I'm going for AJ to win by stoppage around 7 to 8, as I think he can start firing shots off. He should be able to get Usyk out of there. Then what I want him to do is get himself over to America and be ringside for Fury Wilder 3, so it can be like, all right, whichever one of you wins, come on, let's get it on. I want to see that. I want to see that Fury AJ fight so bad, man, so bad, and I just praying it happens. I really am. But you know, this is what boxing needs. It's a great big event. There's a good undercard with like Lawrence Okoli on and stuff, so it's good to have boxing back again, man. I can't wait to watch that Saturday when I've finished work. But thanks for watching again, guys. Enjoy the fight tomorrow, and I'll see you all soon. Peace and love.